Hey everyone, it's Brenda Stolyar, Mashable's tech reporter, and today we are going to be unboxing Google's new Nest Audio smart speaker. So this is the successor to the original Google Home, which at this point came out 4 years ago. So I think this thing has been well overdue for an upgrade. So we are going to open up this box, check out the design, we'll plug it in, hear how it sounds, and I'll give you my first impressions. Okay, so let's start with unwrapping it. So here is the Nest Audio. It does come in a bunch of other colors. So first thing that I notice, this is completely covered in fabric other than the base. On the back here, you have the microphone that you can turn on and turn off. You have the little Google logo. And first thoughts, it's definitely a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be. I can't remember how heavy the Google Home was. I definitely think that it matches the rest of the Google Home speakers a lot better, especially the Google Home or the Google Nest minis, which are like completely covered in fabric as well. So in terms of aesthetic, it just looks a lot sleeker for sure. So here you have the cord and the power adapter. Okay, let's take a look at some of the new features. Okay, this thing is made out of sustainable fabric and it is also made out of 70% recycled material. So as with the original Google Home, there are touch controls. With the original one, you could either tap to lower or increase the volume, or since it was circular, you could kind of go in the circular motion to increase and decrease the volume. So now you tap the left corner for volume down, you tap the middle to play or pause, and then you tap the right for volume up, which seems pretty self-explanatory. You have all of your Google Home commands, so you can play and control music, plan your day, control your smart home products, which is something that I like to do. I have a lot of smart plugs where I plug in my lights and my AC unit, and all I say is, "Hey Google, I'm home," and it turns everything on, which is really nice. In terms of design, this makes me realize how dated the original Google Home looked in comparison to the rest of the products that they have released since. This is really nice, and it's also super compact. As far as future design choices, if this is what these are gonna look like, then I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna plug this in. So as you can see, I already have the suggestion. Okay, so it found the Nest Audio, and now we're gonna wait for it to connect. Yes, I did hear that sound, Google. Okay, we're gonna agree to all that. We're gonna name it Brenda's Nest Audio. And we should be connecting to Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is absolute trash here in the good old suburbs of a place I will not mention, but we should be okay. Okay, so now they're the typical white color. I wonder if the blue was just to indicate the setup process, but I really kind of wish we could change the colors of these. Google, if you're listening, I'm requesting the ability to change the colors of the lights on the Google Nest Audio. Here are all the things that I have set up and connected to my Google account. Oh, it's gonna take about 4 minutes. Okay, that's fine. In the meantime, let's compare this. Oh, I can already use the touch controls. So this increased the volume. Every time you press play, the little lights appear to show that like it obviously recognized your touch control. Let's learn about your controls on your Nest Audio, which I think we already learned, but let's just go through it again. Okay, play and pause, tap the top center. There we go, okay. Next, change volume, tap the corners. Okay. Mic switch to turn the mic off, slide the switch on the back, and the front lights will turn orange. Okay, so as per usual,
the mic's off.
And there you go. You have the standard orange lights to indicate that. I think that's it for controls. Actually, I know that's it for controls because there's really nothing else that you can do with it. All right, it's ready.
Hi, I'm your Google Assistant. I'm here to help. To learn a few things you can do, continue in the Google Home app.
On your Google Home app, depending on what else you have set up to it, it's now going to appear as Brenda's Nest Audio for me specifically. So obviously you can control the volume on the app. You can also go into your device settings and tinker around with the bass and the treble. So what's really nice is that you really don't have to think about these touch controls at all. They're just, natural. To just tap on the corners and in the middle. And there's, a fair amount of surface area here that recognizes the controls, so you don't have to specifically tap on the same spot every single time. It's just as long as it's in the middle and on the sides, then you're, in the clear. Hey Google, lower the volume to 2. Thank you. Hey Google, raise the volume to 5. Other things to note, the Nest Audio comes with a 19mm tweeter, a 75mm mid-woofer, and that is supposed to give you a more natural, fuller sound. And Google also says that in comparison to the original Google Home, it's supposed to deliver 75% more volume and 50% more bass. So I really wish that I had my Google Home on me so we could do a little battle of the sounds, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to save that for another video. As with the Google Home Max, this does come with the media EQ feature, and what that does is it measures the acoustics of the space that you put the smart speaker in and then adjusts the audio accordingly. That's also in addition to the ambient IQ feature, which adjusts the volume of whatever it is you're listening to, as well as Google Assistant whenever you ask it questions or commands, depending on the background noise in whatever room you're in. That could be something like the TV is blasting, or, the dishwasher is on in the kitchen, and rather than having to constantly be like, hey Google, because I don't want to trigger it, increase the volume by 25%, or Google lower the, or hey Google lower the volume. So rather than having to ask Google to lower the volume or decrease the volume depending on what it is that's going on in the room, it'll automatically adjust for you, so you don't have to worry about that. Google Assistant also responds twice as fast now compared to the original Google Home. Again, I really wish I had the other one here to just test it out, but let's just ask it a question. Hey Google, what's the weather today?
In New York today, it'll be partly cloudy with a forecasted high of 70 and a low of 57. Currently, it's 70 degrees and mostly cloudy.
Thank you. So the last thing I wanted to mention about the Nest Audio is that it is not portable. So a few months ago, when the Nest Audio got leaked, Google got ahead of it by sending reporters official assets of the device. We didn't have any information on specs though, but in the video, you can see that they're carrying the speaker. It was all very weird. Everybody was speculating. Now I'm thinking that was just their way of showing off how small it was, and just emphasizing this idea that they were able to pack a bunch of things into a compact form factor, as opposed to the original Google Home, which is obviously a lot wider and taller and just bigger. But even though it's not portable, the Nest Audio is still compatible with other Google Home speakers, so you can connect it together to either play the same audio on each one at the same time, if that's what you want. That does make sense for if you buy 2 of these and you place one on like one side of your TV and one on the other. Or if you are going from one room to another, you can easily transfer whatever you're listening to over from one speaker to another. So even though you don't have that portability, you still have that seamless connectivity to make it easier to just allow your content to travel with you. The Nest Audio is currently available for purchase and it retails for $99, which is pretty nice considering that the original Google Home retailed for about $130. So Google was able to lower the price point of this thing. But that is your unboxing, your first look, my first impressions. I will continue to put this thing through its paces and through testing over the coming days, perhaps weeks, perhaps months. It probably won't take me that long. But be sure to check back for a full review of Google's Nest Audio, along with reviews of all the other products Google recently announced at its hardware event, including the Google Chromecast and the Google Pixel 5 over at Mashable. Hey Google, tell me a joke.
What do cats eat for breakfast? Mice Krispies.
That's gross. Hey Google, how's your day?
I'm good. What's up with you?
Oh, Google is so thoughtful.
Google likes you too, and so does this assistant.
Whoa, we're getting very, very friendly.